Hello femmes, men and other sparkling gems, my name is Ehru and welcome to this video. This one is just a speed draw of me drawing a geisha, and I had a lot of fun with this actually. I haven't drawn a geisha before, and usually the characters I draw are quite, I don't know, there's not really much indication of their background, or it's usually quite European looking just based on what I normally see and I'm used to drawing. So I tried to add a little bit of culture, I suppose, and just a different sort of heritage to this piece. I also just wanted to try a different pose, which was kneeling, and the first thing that came to my mind was a geisha kneeling by a koi pond. During this artwork I used a lot of references to, get the depiction somewhat correct, in a cartoony style of course. It's obviously it's not a realism piece, but the silhouette of the building in the background and the pillars and the koi fish especially, just so that it looks like what it's meant to be. And even looking at the ornaments that geishas have in their hair. At this point I noticed that the eye shapes were not right. They were more European than of an Oriental background, and so it was an interesting process of actually going through and paying attention to that kind of aspect and trying to give the right look. I'm so used to drawing just circular European-ish sort of eyes that I didn't realize it until I was looking at the reference photos to get the color scheme right of the kimono and trying to figure out how to do the makeup, that I had realized that the eyes weren't the right shape. I'm using a purple here as shading, and that tip I got from a animator and artist on YouTube called Ginger Pale. So he talks about using warmer and cooler colours to shade rather than just changing the hue or the saturation of a colour. I think I'm using that word right. I'm such an amateur with artistic terms, so my apologies. I tried to do some makeup, but I didn't like the blush on the cheeks, but I still went with the red eyeshadow, which seemed to be quite a common occurrence when looking at reference images for geishas, was lots of red. The Photoshop brushes that I use are the ones that Jazza himself created, so they're a lot of fun to use, and I don't really use the default Photoshop brushes at all. I just use the ones that Jazza has created. This might, for those that don't use Photoshop, this might seem like a bit of an unusual colour scheme that I'm using. All I'm doing at the moment is just setting up the clipping masks so that what you do is you colour in a certain area and then you add a layer, and so when you're colouring it doesn't actually exceed that layer, so you can feel comfortable to stay within the lines. I really like my koi fish. I didn't know how it was going to turn out, and then just playing with the shapes. They're quite simple to draw, but yeah, it was just, they're just fun. I decided I wanted to do a night sky because I wanted to have a go at trying to make stars. Again, using reference photos to figure out how to give it a bit of a shine in the background, and there's different ways of having like the pointed areas or just sort of like a circular sort of transparent thing in the background. And I really didn't do much talking during this video, but if there is any recommendations or suggestions at what I should draw next, please feel free to comment below. I'm still working on another animation, but it's just nice to add a little bit something extra into my YouTube channel. So thanks for watching, guys, and manage your mischief. Bye!